Hello guys and welcome to today's review. So what we have in front of us is Colmi. You must have seen this brand before, especially on my channel as well. And this particular watch is called M42. Right now on AliExpress, I've purchased this watch for 18 British pounds. So that's roughly about 23 to 25 US dollars with free shipping. This is an official product and I purchased it from official store, Colmi store. I'll leave the link down below. For your money, what you will receive, it's the watch that looks like this, right? There's a manual in two languages. One is English, the other one is Portuguese. The watch comes with a 2-pin magnetic charging cable, which means there's no data transfer available because there's no internal memory. And also as a little bonus, you will receive a protective screen thing, which isn't a glass, it's a hard plastic, but it will save your screen for the time being. So, it's something you can use and it comes in a packaging for the price as well. The watch comes with a large display, which is 1.42 inches across with resolution of 466 by 466. Also to mention, this is an AMOLED matrix, so therefore colors are super bright, they're super vivid, and the battery life is fantastic. The watch comes with an IP rating IP68, which means, daily usage is covered. So for instance, washing your hands, finding yourself under the rain, and things like that, light splashes of water will not do any damage to this watch whatsoever. Unfortunately, that means because this watch has cutouts for microphone and speakers, you can't take this into a swimming pool, sauna or shower. Is probably not a good idea for this watch either. Inside of the watch you'll find a chipset, which is RTL8763E. This is a 5th generation of Realtek chipset, which in my opinion works super fantastic with all the other components within the watch, and I'll show you the smoothness of animation, and we'll talk about other stuff later on as well. Inside of the watch you'll find a Bluetooth, which is Bluetooth 5.2. Connection stays nice and strong. I haven't seen a single dropout for a week when I was using this watch and I was testing it. Also inside of the watch you'll find a battery, which is 410 milliamp battery. Now, to put that into perspective, those of you who paid attention probably realize that this watch comes with an always-on display. I know it doesn't light up too much, but it's quite dim at the minute. But that's the way it is, right? So this battery with always-on display, with full brightness of the screen, right? That's the full brightness of the screen. I'm just demonstrating to you right now. From full charge, this watch will last 2 full working days. And I mean, you charge it once, and it goes for morning, day, evening, night, morning, day, evening, night, and the next morning you'll probably have to recharge it again. But that's provided that you're using maximum brightness, your Bluetooth is on, everything is on, all your heart sense rating, like all your heart rate sensors are switched on, always on display is on, and all those things. So it's a very, very good tandem, processor, battery, and other features in the watch. They're really working well this time. This watch uses application which is called FitCloud Pro, and we will be taking it later on. Right, so let's take a quick look at the watch itself and the build quality. So the watch is somewhat light. It's very nice to wear this watch because your wrist doesn't get tired and you feel like you don't have anything on your wrist actually. It means, it's comfortable. So the watch comes in 3 different color schemes. So this one is khaki, and it's like a mud green color. And I've actually chosen it myself, and I thought, it looks pretty cool. You also have a black version and you also have a gray version. When you're going to be choosing your watch on Colmi official store on AliExpress, when you're going to be flicking through the pictures, pay attention to this part here, right? Because if you see it being gray, that means that the entire body of the watch will be gray. If it's black, it'll be the same, right? So it's going to be black all over. The bezel of the watch is metal. The buttons of the watch are metal too. We've got one button that allows us to jump into our sport settings, sport activities, and the top button works on pressing and rotating as well. The entire body of the watch is made out of plastic, but it's a good quality plastic, if you know what I mean. The straps are quick release straps and they are 22mm strap across. So if you don't like the strap itself, although I think the straps are very good, and with this amount of holes, you can really adjust it to any wrist size. You can still, go on AliExpress and you can just type in 22mm straps and you can purchase yourself something different if you don't like these particular straps. Now, looking at the back, we can see where the microphone is. It's at the back there. There's another microphone on the side, and the speakers are on the left. So the speaker grill is just there. Now, unfortunately, and I'll tell you right now, I don't have means of recording audio that you get from this watch, so I can't demonstrate to you how the microphone sounds or how the speaker sounds. But from my own experience and from my own testing, whenever I rank people, if you hold this watch round about, I would say probably 7 to 10 inches away from your face, or like 10-15 centimeters away from your face, you can hear a person on the phone clearly and loud enough to have, you know, a decent conversation. And your voice, and that's confirmed by people who I've spoke to on the phone, they say that your voice sounds nice, crisp, and there's no background noise whatsoever, and you sound almost like you're speaking on the phone. So the quality is really, really good. Now, what we'll do is we'll jump into a main menu and I'll show you what's what basically. So if you scroll from top to bottom, it gives you a very nicely laid out menu, right? We got brightness of the screen. Mine currently set at brightest, and with this AMOLED screen, you trust me, you want it to be at brightest because the colors just look amazing. You've got battery saving mode, you've got do not disturb mode, you've got the little phone icon. This is for you to activate your phone capabilities like on the initial watch. Now, this time around, unlike with the other watches, you don't actually get a secondary Bluetooth module for phone calls only. It's one unit only. Once you've connected your watch to your phone initially, that's it, you're set for the whole thing. Now, if you want to activate the ability to make phone calls through this watch, all you have to do is jump into these settings, and you see where it says call audio, you have to turn it on, and that's it. Now, if you're that kind of weird person and you want to listen to the music on your watch for some reason, now if you activate this secondary option, media audio, that means anything you play on your phone, it doesn't really matter, YouTube, music, whatever it could be, will be played via the speaker on this watch. You've got your flashlight, it's very simple, the screen lights up and it just goes really, really bright. Information about the watch, you can find your phone if you've lost it, and you can jump into main settings, which we will do in a minute. Now, if you scroll from bottom to top, that gives you access to your text messages. At any time given, you can save absolute ton of text messages, right? It can be like more than 15 text messages. And if we jump into any of those, you get a nice portion of a text message. Now, if you scroll from right to left, that gives you access to your fitness activities and sensors and all those things. So this is your activity for the day. If you scroll down, there's absolute ton of information down here, and you can scroll through and you can see absolutely everything. Achievements for the week, for the month, and so on and so on and so on. Very useful, very good. I like the animation, I like the brightness of the screen, and the colors look super good. This is your heart rate sensor. It's a good heart rate sensor. I'm not going to demonstrate it now. Sleep tracking, it shows you the sleep tracking for the previous night. Once again, if you scroll down, you'll be able to see your sleep tracking for the past week, which is great. Then we go into our fitness activities. So I'll scroll through, have a look at what sort of fitness activities are available here. Obviously, no swimming is available. As I mentioned before, IP68 only will cover you for light water splashes and dust resistance. It's not suitable for swimming pools or taking a shower with this watch and things like that. And then furthermore, if you wanted to add any more information to this menu, obviously you can choose between these little things here. So for instance, like weather, music, and so on. Now, if you scroll from left to right, that gives you access to your main menu. Right at the top, you've got a dialing option. If you know the phone number, you could dial it manually. Contact person, that's where you can save, frequently used contacts. You're gonna have to do that via the app. We'll take a look at it later on. Call records shows you the phone calls that you made recently. Voice assistant speaks for itself. Data is basically your achievements and information about your activities, workouts, heart rate sensor, sleep tracking, blood oxygen, pressure sensor as well. Messages, weather. The weather is only showing for the day, but that's plenty enough, to be honest with you. Female cycle tracking, and then your music player is very simple, but it's a very nicely laid out music player. So play, pause, skip tracks, and also increase or decrease volume, which is useful. You've got your breathing exercise, you've got your stopwatch and timer. You can jump into stopwatch or timer. You can set it off. Unfortunately, you won't be able to leave the screen. You're going to have to stay on that screen. So that's one of the negatives of these things. Alarm clocks, you can set it in the watch itself. You can toggle it on and off. You can manually set the date and the time. You can find your phone if you've lost it. There's a calculator available within the watch. Very often people ask me if there's a calculator available. There is a calculator available. And if we jump into settings, the actual settings of the watch, the things that we can do in here are we can change menu style. So I'm currently at number 3, and that menu style allows you to see everything in the list form. And then if we change it to number 1, everything will be changed to a menu that looks like this. And if we change it to number 2, the menu will look like this. And finally, number 4, the menu will look like this. All right. Personally, I prefer to keep it at number 3 because it gives me the clear information and I can rotate it via my little crown. Now, if we jump into display settings, the maximum timeout that you can use is 30 seconds. So the screen will stay on for 30 seconds, then it will dim itself, and eventually, if you've toggled it on, it will jump into always on display, right? You've got 2 different options. So this is analog always on display. You can see it just there. And you have a digital version as well, which looks like this. Okay. Now, if you didn't want to use always on display, absolutely fine. All you have to do is just shut it down. So turn it completely off. There's going to be no always on display. I personally prefer to use analog clock. I think it looks the best. I think it looks the decent. Now, as I've mentioned before, if you have your always on display, if you have your notifications, your heart rate sensor working constantly, you've got your highest brightness of the screen and things like this set up, expect for your battery to last for 2 working days, like literally charge it once and just forget about it. Then in the battery settings, you can see what's the remaining percentage of the battery, and you can also turn on the power saving mode if you needed to, if you were running out of juice. The second negative of this watch is the vibration. Although you do have different settings, you can toggle it off completely. You can have a soft vibration or strong vibration. Even the strongest vibration is not as strong as the one you would find on, let's say, for instance, Mi Band 5 or Mi Band 8, which we will be actually reviewing soon. There, the vibration on its own is enough to wake you up in the morning. The vibration in this watch is very gentle. It's somewhat in the middle. It's not too soft, it's not too strong. Personally, I would like it to be a bit stronger, but that's what you get, unfortunately. Now, if we jump into languages, that's very important for majority of people. I'm just going to scroll through and you have a look at what sort of languages are available within the watch. So what I'll do now is I'll quickly demonstrate to you other watch faces that are pre-installed onto this watch. You can change them by rotating the crown, or you can change the watch faces by long pressing the screen. Now, the actual crown is nice and stiff, so you ain't gonna get like accidental watch face changes during the day. When you activate the always on display, the actual screen goes absolutely numb, so it won't do any accidental touches, and there's no way to wake up the watch by double tapping the screen. So it's a very nicely thought out process. So what we'll do now is we'll jump into FitCloud Pro app. I'll show you what sort of watch face is also available there and what sort of settings you can toggle on and off in the app, and then we're going to come back and I'm going to summarize today's video for you. Right, so it's time for us to look at the FitCloud Pro, which I can't find for the love of life. There we go, FitCloud Pro. So we're just going to jump into that. On the first page, usual story, we can see how many steps we've done, how many calories we've burned, the total distance we've traveled. You know, we can set a different goal for our steps. So we can jump into sleep tracking. You can see your sleep tracking every single day, every single night, and you can see, you know, you can choose between different weeks, months, for today only, and it gives you an idea of, you know, light sleep, deep sleep, and things like that. I think it's fantastic. Heart rate sensor activities as well. It's a very accurate heart rate sensor. Stress levels, oxygen levels, and then if we jump into our device, we can see we can set different push notifications. So for instance, we can set absolutely everything on. In my case, I've set it for calls, text messages, emails, and then I've chosen these social medias here. Okay, so you can toggle it on and off. You can set different alarms. You can set as many alarms as you need to. You've got a sitting reminder, so if you've been sitting for too long, you can set that. A drinking reminder. Now, if we jump into watch faces, it'll take it about a second to load. First of all, you can customize your own watch face. Usual story, add your picture, choose different positions, choose different colors and all that. But now if you want to use pre-installed watch faces, I'll scroll through, have a quick look at it. I think a lot of these watch faces are really good looking, and also the library is not sort of staying at the same level. It's constantly updating, so more watch faces are becoming available, which is great. And as I mentioned before, so far more than 250 watch faces been made available, so you can download them anytime. They're absolutely free to use. You can use as many watch faces as you wish. There we go. So you know how we looked at the sport activities on the watch itself? Within the app, there are more fitness activities available if you wanted to choose. So I'm just going to scroll through and you'll be able to see what other sport activities are actually available to track. Obviously, when you're going to choose a particular sport, watch will adapt to a particular sport. So, you know, different heart rate sensor activity maybe monitored and things like that. So that's quite good. We can toggle on the weather reports. We can also set the race to wake. So that's when you rotate your wrist, the screen will come on. Mine is switched off because I'm using always on display. Automatic health monitoring. So mine's set to monitor pretty much all the time. Simple app. I know we've reviewed it before, but every single watch adapts the application to itself as well. And that's it. Let's go back to our video. Right, so now that you had a good chance to have a look at this watch and the application, FitCloud Pro and all those things, I would say $23 with free shipping from AliExpress. Bear in mind that you're probably going to get this watch within less than a week from the moment you're going to place your order, arriving to your country, to your home address. For that kind of money, I can't find any other product on AliExpress that would have fantastic AMOLED screen like this with always on display, the battery that lasts 2 working days with absolutely everything turned on, which is absolutely amazing. The build quality is fantastic. Yes, it is plastic, but it's a good quality plastic, and it doesn't actually show that it is plastic. When it's on the wrist, it looks nice. It's not too big, it's not too small. It will suit men and women. Everyone can use it. You know, useless features are not present in this watch, but everything else is really good and really thought out. The microphone and the speakers are really good. Whenever you're going to have a conversation through this watch, this is actually the first watch I can actually recommend to say that, yeah, you can actually have a decent conversation on this watch because your voice will be heard really nice, loud and clear. There's nothing to fault. Fitness tracking activities, you know, fantastic, is doing its job correctly. Step counter is really good. Heart rate sensor is really good. I don't know, it's just really good product. Even if you haven't thought about buying yourself a brand new fitness tracker or watch or whatever, I think you should be looking into buying one of these, really, especially now with all the discounts and with the link I'm going to leave down below to the official seller. I think you just cannot beat this product. You know, it's just super nice product. So those are my thoughts. Whether you're gonna buy it or not is usual story. It's up to you. But I would highly recommend. I would, you know, strongly suggest that you go out and actually buy yourself this fitness tracker because you're gonna absolutely love it. Thank you guys for staying tuned. Thank you if you watched this video entirely. Thank you twice as much. I hope this video has been helpful and you found all the information that you were sort of looking for. If I still missed anything, don't hesitate, comment down below and I'll do my best to answer your questions as soon as I possibly can. Thank you for staying tuned. Thank you for subscribing, you know, thank you for sharing these videos. I'm really appreciative of all of your activities, guys, and I'm really enjoying doing what I'm doing for you. And I'm glad that my review is actually helping you in some way. Thank you guys, and I'll see you in the next video.